Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku, and I want to talk to you guys about Off Colors, the upcoming Steven Universe episode that is going to be within the Wanted event. Now, truth be told, I'm excited for the entire event, but when it comes to Off Colors, I kind of have a special place in my heart. I'm anticipating this episode to be something special because I'm expecting this episode to pretty much confirm one of my oldest theories. And if you've been watching my videos recently, you might already know what theory I'm talking about. I'm referring to my theory that color matters on Homeworld. Gems that have colors that match up with their respective diamonds are higher up in Homeworld society. So a yellow or a blue gem such as topaz and aquamarine are high up, whereas gems such as an amethyst or maybe a ruby don't really have a purple diamond or a red diamond to match up with. I also think that my coloration theory got a bit of padding from Rebecca Sugar herself. So for one of the latest CN sides where they focused on Steven Bomb 6, which the Cartoon Network official Twitter dubbed the Steven Universe Spring Break arc, they sat down with Rebecca Sugar and questioned her on the reasoning between the pairing of aquamarine and topaz. And she says how she wanted you to see the different sides of high-ranking gems, the yellow and blue high-ranking gems, and she specified yellow and blue gems. Now, to me, if coloration didn't mean anything, I don't know why she would specify that. So, I don't know. For me, you could take this how you want, but I felt as though that was padding onto my theory. That was just kind of a bit of soft confirmation. And this is sort of affiliated with that conversation that Peridot had with that corn in the episode Gem Harvest.
I made you in my image, you will do as I say!
I made you in my image, you will do as I say. And so gems who more so mirror the image of their diamonds are favored. I mean, if you consider a sapphire, she's sort of like a miniature blue diamond. You know, blue diamond's image is definitely imposed on sapphire. And we all know that within this society, not everyone can be a Homeworld elite. Not everyone can be at the top of the social ladder. Which brings us to gems who do not elicit similar features to their respective diamonds, otherwise known as off-colored gems. Now, when this episode title was first revealed, a ton of you hit me up and were talking about the Zoo and Holly Blue, her words, those off-colored betas, which correlates with my theory quite well. The coloration of quartz gems created on Earth that we definitively know of, such as jaspers and amethysts, do not match up with any of the diamonds. And so with this information in mind, we're gonna bring that together with the leaked synopsis we have for this episode. And by the way, I didn't make a video on the synopsises for these various episodes because I think they were rather self-explanatory, and all the things that were being told are things that I just assumed. I felt as though that was gonna happen anyways. It didn't really need an entire video from me. And with me, I don't really cover news unless I have something to add to it or some specific point that I want to push across. But really, these were all no-brainers. But just to add credibility, I'm including this. So the synopsis is as follows. Steven discovers some unusual, unexpected allies. And so even without that synopsis, when using my theory, this was sort of like a no-brainer, and I'll explain why. So when it comes to Lapis and Peridot, Lapis is a gem that elicits the color blue. She is a blue gem like her former diamond, Blue Diamond, and Peridot is a green gem. She is an off-colored gem because her coloration does not associate itself with any singular diamond. And now think about the process of converting these two into crystal gems. It's a lot harder to convince a gem that was in high social standings to become a rebel, to face off against their former home. Whereas a gem that's already sort of at the bottom of the barrel and has been following orders with no leisure their entire life is a lot easier to convert. And in the episode Earthlings, Jasper was pushing the point that when a gem feels like nothing, when they feel worthless, it is a lot easier for Rose to take them in and make them into a rebel. I mean, it's obvious, right? If you're a high-class gem, you don't really have a necessity to rebel. Sapphire rebelled because she wanted to have the freedom of fusion, and so that was her reasoning. You have to be oppressed in some manner for you to want to rebel at all. If you're sitting comfortably, why would you try to change your situation if you're alright? And that's something that adds a bit of intrigue into the character of Rose, because she was not an off-colored gem. She was pink, and she was within Pink Diamond's court, so she was high up in that regard, making her rebellion sort of unpredictable in the eyes of Homeworld and also very inspiring in the eyes of the off-color gems, the gems who are at the bottom. Seeing this high-class gem fight for them was inspiring, and I think that we're getting a dosage of this within the episode Off Colors, where off-color gems may arise to help out Steven, who is, effectively Rose Quartz. And I'm not one to underestimate Rose Quartz. She was a tactical genius. More than that, she was straight up just a genius. The ingenuity of everything that she has done has been stunning. And so I feel as though as a tactician, she may have implemented a sort of sleeper cell unit within Homeworld, have spies, have people on the inside who can pass on intel or be waiting for a moment like this where she gets captured and is in the possession of the diamonds. And you might think that that's crazy, but these are immortal gems. They live for thousands of years, so a sort of pact or a promise such as that may stay intact for millennia. And so I feel like Steven is going to realize he has more friends than he thinks. Those who are oppressed will come to his aid. By the way, I think that Pearl is an off-color gem as well, which I talk about in my video on her and her true owner, which you should check out if you haven't already. But anyways guys, that about wraps it up for the video, and I am really hoping that this comes to fruition, that this actually happens in the episode Off Colors. Please let me know what you guys think about my prediction based on my theory in the comments. Let me know if you agree with the theory and not the prediction, or the prediction but not a theory, or whatever comes in between that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.